like the countdowns, like New Year's Eve, and we should have streamers and
Right?
little noisemakers.
It would be funny. Yes.
So you guys got my sound effects
Yes.
without the visual. Thank God.
Look at though, we're getting more and more fancy. So now we have our names, and they're on the right side of the screen, which is opposite of really where we're standing.
Oh, then we yeah.
And we have our ticker at the bottom.
We have a ticker.
I feel super. I thought I was going to go last week, but I didn't push the button. It's a learning curve.
She was like, the ticker is not up there. Well, we'll figure it out next week.
Oh yeah, we're getting better though.
Hey, I just show up. I make you do all the work.
This is true.
I delegate well, don't I?
Right. Well, it's been a week. It's been a week.
It has been a week.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been crazy around here.
So yes, very, very crazy. And we love every minute. We're so glad you guys keep popping in and checking out all the new stuff. And it's nice to know you guys actually are listening and watching, because thank you to all of you who came in and took part of the fantastic financing options that unfortunately ended yesterday. But there were quite a few of you who came in and got new machines and took advantage of that. So thank you for actually listening to us.
Yeah. Gene has been gone, and we've been super busy. So
we have,
we can prove to him that
we actually have empty spaces on the floor.
Empty spaces. Yeah, we did just fine without him. Not that we don't love him, but we did.
Like, and he even said that today when we were talking. He's like, "Oh, sounds like you guys are doing okay." And we're like, "Of course we are."
Yeah, we got it.
I don't know why he expected anything less.
We have Hayden. He's Superman.
We have Hayden. Everyone needs a Hayden in their life, and we are so glad that we have him in ours.
Yes.
He is the string that holds everything together around here. He knows where the bodies are buried.
He knows where everything is.
He knows where everything is at. He loves answering the phone, which is fantastic. So hopefully the phone's not ringing off the hook when you guys are giving us a buzz. Yes. So what do you got?
Let's see. I had can we talk about my funny Joanne experience? So
sure. I'll just listen to you talk about that.
It was kind of funny. So I don't shop at Joann's for a ton of things, but every once in a while I go in there. Lisa and I, we like wear planners.
We like to pretend that we're organized.
Right. We write things down and just to cross them off.
Just to cross them off the list.
And I'm a big Disney fan, so the Happy Planner is my planner.
So this is her current Happy Planner. It's got these neat little rings in here, so you can add pages and change things and organize how you want to be organized.
Put stickers in that.
Put stickers in that are sewing stickers or maker.
Yeah,
Maker's got to make.
So they have a Disney line coming out, and so I don't get to Joann's very often, and I don't live real close to a Joann's anymore now that I live in the sticks. So I went to a Joann's, and I'm not going to say which one I went to.
Just one.
And so Dave stayed in the car, and I went in, and I was over by the planner stuff, and I was kind of disappointed because they didn't have what I was looking for. But all of a sudden, I hear like yelling, and I'm like,
that's weird.
The smarter version of me would have left, but I was too intrigued. So I walked over. The voyeuristic version of her did not leave. Right. So I walk over to the cutting counter, and they're having a very large argument.
That wasn't a discussion.
Right. The customer had a bunch of licensed fabric on the cutting counter, and she wanted multiple yards of this fabric, and the girl who was working for Joann's was cutting the fabric, and she was telling her that there's a new company policy that you can only have 1 yard of each of these. And the other customer started kind of yelling a little bit, and the next thing I hear is, "Why are you being a Karen?" And I'm like, what? And so the girl at the cutting counter is yelling at the customer, telling her that she's being unreasonable. And then there's another lady later on in the line saying, "This is why we can't have nice things, because nobody can treat each other nice." And so I was just kind of like really surprised. You have to have thick skin to be in retail.
Sometimes it's just not easy, but fortunately we have wonderful customers who never are Karens.
So
do you know what Karen means?
Well, I do in this instance, but I feel really bad because we have such a
wonderful Karen, and she's wonderful. And she's not a Karen,
right? And we have customers who are not what this Karen is being referenced to. So I felt really bad for both people. Actually, it was
very awkward, I would imagine.
It was
to be listening.
It was weird to listen to, and I'm sure it was difficult on both parties. It was obviously a heated discussion. My reason for mentioning it is because I just want to point out that we will never limit you to 1 yard of anything.
Anything.
So unless
Ever.
I only have a yard of it, you can have as many
Much
yards
as you want.
or the whole bolt. I will happily, if you're willing to pay for it, we are going to sell
We're
it to
gonna
you.
sell it to you.
So I just wanted you to know that we're that kind of friend, not the kind
Not gonna
that
yell at
tells
you kind of friends.
you can only have 1 yard.
No.
No.
No is a complete sentence, which we have had to learn sometimes because we're not real good at saying no. It's
No.
hard.
You feel bad.
It's very difficult, but sometimes it just has to happen.
Sometimes it happens. So,
Sometimes it has to
did
happen.
you have anything funny happen to you this weekend?
I did not.
No,
I
it was
actually,
quiet. You weren't feeling well.
I had a migraine most of the weekend, so unfortunately, I kind of had my head buried in a pillow, and I had the TV on in the background. I watched Thor, which always relaxes me.
Right.
I mean, duh.
Chris.
Right. Caitlin joined me here, and she's like, "Oh, him. Yep. Let's." She popped right down, sat next to me, and watched it. And then last night, Justice League was on, and Aquaman,
Mm-hmm.
Superman,
Right. That was
Batman's
awful.
eh,
Yeah.
but not because of. I just he's got too much on.
Right.
It's
Too much close.
yeah. There's the mask. It's just awkward.
Right.
So
We know all about this mask thing.
yeah, all about the mask thing. Those are awkward too, but
They are. Yes.
yeah. So Caitlin was really funny though. It's always fun to watch stuff like that with her
Yeah.
because she's 21 years old, but she's not. So it's always interesting to see her reactions to things. He's yummy. Okay, yes, honey, he is. She just plopped right down and watched with me.
She's always such a pleasure to have in the shop.
She is a hoot and a half, and she has a wit that you never expect. You never know what's going to come out of her mouth, and
Right.
sometimes that's scary. When you're in public, like places at Joann's, and you just don't know what's going to happen, but sometimes it's a lot of fun.
Surprise.
So, surprise is right. So she surprised us 21 years ago with all the wonderful, fun things that we're going to do with her in her life, and she keeps doing it. So, not that she wasn't planned. She was planned. Not that kind of surprise.
Right.
Totally. I only do things that I plan.
Yes.
Absolutely.
In our planner.
In my planner. I write it down so I could cross it off and make myself feel like I accomplished something.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if it's not in the planner, it can't get done.
I actually have a magnet on my fridge that says if it's not in the scrapbook, it didn't happen.
This might be true.
Unfortunately, I haven't scrapbooked in 6 years, so
So
I haven't
a
done
lot
a
of things
damn thing
happen.
for 6 years. Evidently, nothing has happened because I haven't scrapbooked in 6 years since I moved.
Oh, bummer.
I chose to put the sewing stuff out instead of the scrapbook stuff out in the space that was allotted to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good choice.
I
It's a good choice.
I found that I wasn't going down. We were talking about we both have these wonderful
Sewing rooms.
and sometimes it's just hard to get to them. Not physically get to them, but like maybe emotionally get to them. Like because there's other things
Pulling
us
you in different directions and needing to do other things and
Yeah. I pulled my luminaire out from the basement and I stuck it on the coffee table in the living room because I'm still sucked into the Stargate. And while I have a TV in my sewing room, it's much bigger in the living room.
Mine is much bigger in the living room. However, it's big enough in my sewing room.
Yeah.
Especially once I get those headphones on and I'm completely oblivious to everything except the dang dogs
The
barking.
dog's barking.
The dog's barking is really getting old. But I get it. They just miss me.
So
which,
I
why wouldn't
embroidered
you miss me?
sitting
But
on the couch.
That's funny.
Yes. And it was just low enough that I really just had to lean over to thread it.
Just
it was
thread it.
it was like the perfect height.
Hit
So and go. And it's quiet enough that I could do it
I
while
love
was
the
watching.
button that I don't have to hit the foot and the go button.
Yeah.
That just makes my day every time I sit in front of that machine.
It was hard for me to get used to pushing the other button because my old machine didn't have that.
Yeah. And, I sit in front of all different kinds of machines here. So the one that I'm talking about, there's a feature that you can turn on the luminaire that you don't have to lower the foot to get the button to turn green to start embroidering.
You just push the button.
You just push it. It stays green. It's
It
so
lowers
wonderful.
for you.
It lowers for you. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
one
really
less
great.
button. I know I'm so lazy. I can't push that button. But it's just, you get used to it and you get spoiled by those things. And then I sit down in front of a machine and
you
I'm
push
like,
the button.
why isn't this working? Why is it red?
Yes.
It's always fun to do a demo when you're like, oops.
Just keep pushing the
Oops.
buttons.
Just keep pushing the buttons.
You
That's
just yeah.
right.
So if you're ever in a demo with us and we just keep pushing the buttons and we keep talking,
That's probably
it's
why
because
forgot what
can't
that
remember
button
where the
does.
button is because it's
we
in
fake
a
it really good.
place.
Probably in more than one instance. But anyways,
Yes.
what do you have?
So I did a little bit of sewing. I love like the farmhouse chalkboard type stuff, and there are some new designs on the Scissortail website, which is part of OESD. It's their
OESD,
sister
their
company.
sister, yep.
So there's a link on our website that you can follow to get
I
to
checked
these.
it today. Everything works.
Yes, to these designs.
Just to make sure.
Some of our customers who have done the spree already have these designs. But this is from a new one called Pumpkin Kisses. It's by Shannon Roberts, and it's these adorable fall
Happy
embroidery.
fall.
So happy fall.
How do you plan to finish those?
I'm gonna put them. I'll show you the other one, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna finish. And then this one.
Am I rushing you? I'm so sorry.
Happy Pumpkin Spice Season. So they're so cute. I did make them a little bit bigger because they didn't fill out the hoop, and so I have the ability to do that.
And you resized when you did that, I imagine.
I did, and recalculated the stitches because I do have that ability to do that. And so I was really happy that they stitched out well.
Yes, they did. They look really great. The shading is still really consistent, and it looks really good.
And they're supposed to be open, airy designs, so I guess
you get some of that darkness from your black fabric coming through. It looks really, really good. So I know you guys hear us talk about our luminaires a lot because we both enjoy sewing on them. That ability to resize and recalculate is not only available on that machine. So go and check it out because depending upon what machine you have, you might already have that. So you guys probably know sizing is limited in the embroidery machines to maintain the stitch quality of the built-in design, or even if you bring it in on a USB. So you have the ability to go up 20% or down 10% with all of our different embroidery machines that we have out there. And then some of the upper echelon, not just the top, but the upper machines do have the ability to actually recalculate stitches at the machine. So you don't have to have embroidery software to do that, which for a long time, that was the only way that you could do it. So it's very nice to have that right at your fingertips and not have to make a separate stop in the machine.
And it's important.
I'm sorry, in a computer to do that.
And the reason that people often ask us why do I have that limit? So tell them why we have a cap on 10 and 20.
So if you look at it like a picture, so a lot of us do, we've been taking pictures for a really long time. Digital pictures have become a thing, but if you try to take a picture and your camera is set up for 4x6, which is the most common way to get your prints, and you have this beautiful picture at a 4x6, and hey, I want to make that a poster on my wall, and I want to make it an 11x14 or bigger or whatever, you end up getting a very pixelated look. So there's actual squares that you will see because it's stretching out, and there's only so many pixels that are in there. So as it's being stretched out, you get holes, for lack of a better word. Same thing happens when you are using stitches. So if I have this many stitches here and I try to spread that out and I'm not recalculating, it's just the same number of stitches that was here, it has an automatic cap in there, so you can't basically make it look bad. So it's the machine helping you out and has that built-in maximum and minimum so that it will still maintain good stitch quality and look good when it is stitched out. So being able to recalculate, those machines that have that capability will actually go all the way up to 200% larger than the original and down 100% larger than the original. So it is a massive difference. And you have so much more flexibility to make that design fit where you want it to go and not have it look bad when you're all done. Right. So that's where, none of us want to spend time, because how much was one of those stitch outs?
A couple hours.
A couple hours by the time you prep the fabric, got it in there, resized it, have it all set, and actually choose your colors, the whole shebang. That's a lot of work to go in and then go, it doesn't really look so hot when I'm all done. I really wanted to make sure that before I start stitching, it's going to end up at the quality level that we want. So it's really nice to be able to do that right at that machine level.
And so this is what I plan on doing with those designs. I didn't actually get to the actually stapling things. But here is, this one is for, this is also from the same girl, Shannon Roberts. So this one is Summer.
Excuse me.
And then look at the back. So
this is a reason to go to Joann's.
This is why these are the things that I go to Joann's for. So these are just the art canvas, and they come in like packages of 3 or 4 at a time, and you can get them in all different shapes. And so I just cut the design out of the fabric. There's no batting or anything
extra in there. It's just the fabric being stretched on that canvas.
And then just use a regular little staple gun, nothing fancy. It's not even an air staple gun. It's just a handheld staple gun, and it puts it in there. So these are going to go on little boards.
Littler boards.
And then, it's this way.
It's so awkward.
The camera has us mirrored.
So I go this way, and I'm actually, it's awkward.
It is. But you can see the words now. They are not mirrored.
You can actually read what we put up there without having us flip that around.
I think I'm upside down.
Yes, ma'am. So happy fall. And to answer that question, Roseanne, it is actually right on the regular size button. So when you go into sizing and you hit your edit key and you get your drop down of different tools, you would hit size, and right across the top, there's two different things above the actual 4 arrows, so on and so forth. One of them is the default, so it will automatically go to that piece. It'll be probably blue, depending upon what your machine is, but generally it's blue highlighted. The one to the right of it, though it looks like I'm saying left. Sorry about that. The one to the right on your screen has a zigzag stitch with arrows around it. That is the recalculating button, and that will allow you to do that. So that answers that question.
It does. And really quickly, I just wanted to point out that I meant to get to emailing some of you guys to let you know that your Scan and Cut books, but Michelle and Penny are both on here and you're live. Your Scan and Cut books are in.
They just came in, so
those playbooks
are
here.
It's really funny because I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get these, so I placed the order and they were literally here the same week that I ordered them.
Right.
It almost never happens.
Yeah.
So nice little I'm like, what in God's name could be in this box?
Right.
It's not my fabric mats. It's too small.
Too small.
But
it's a surprise.
I was very pleasantly surprised. So yes, if you were in the second round of Scan and Cut,
just she responded, great.
Yay!
So good job. And Penny did too. If you guys could see the setup that we have here, you would just
we have probably about 4.
The cutting counter
with the way from what we're using an iPad at the moment for the video on there, and there's a bar along the right side of the screen that has all of your beautiful comments, and the writing is about that big.
Yes.
It's really, really tiny. So we're just like,
and they come in at the bottom, and there's a bar,
and there's
right
of course
across
a bar
screen
that's
right
holding the iPad in place.
Yes,
that's blocking.
It doesn't fall over on
the
us.
Pieces. So it's a challenge.
It is,
but we're up to
it. And we're getting every week. I think it's getting a little bit better. This is getting a little easier. So
it is.
So, anyways, those were
her weekend
stitching
fun things.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I have nothing to share with you.
Well, you've got a Kimberbell. It was
but
I
didn't even get to do it.
It was a community. You figured out what we did wrong.
I did figure out what we did wrong. Because we always have to do something wrong, so y'all don't have to.
Right. So because I feel like there's always something new in Kimberbell.
It does feel like that. There's constantly things that are that become available, and they do such a beautiful job. Generally the mistakes that you make are yours, not in the design themselves. I don't know that I've ever come across an actual mistake in a design. I have found finally, it took me years, but I have finally found a misprint, like a word was wrong, but even that you can still figure it out. So it's one of those things, but they are very, very good about editing and making sure everything is good before they put it out. Which is really awesome. So speaking of Kimberbell, I did on Saturday had our first virtual embroidery club. It went really well. We ended up doing the cute little rain boots that you guys have seen.
And you lived to tell the tale.
I did live to tell the tale. And I think that it went really well. I did ask all of you ladies that participated in there, please give us some feedback. This is a learning curve for us as well. So if there's things that you need or would work better if we did something differently, we can't promise that we'll change whatever it is, but we certainly can't fix it if you don't tell us about it. So let us know if there's any feedback that you guys have. A couple of you already did that, and I greatly appreciate it. So I've got the second one of those scheduled for tomorrow, and that will be at 5 o'clock. So basically they're when we're not open, because there's no real way for us to make sure that it's quiet, and that we can completely dedicate our time to you on screen versus the millions of customers.
And we still have some fabric
millions being 3 that we allowed in the store.
Kits left, right?
I do have a couple.
If there's
if somebody wanted to jump in at the last minute, we do have that availability.
You have to be able to get home
by 5.
So
yes, absolutely.
But that is the latest that you can sign up for. If you live 5 minutes, then it can be $4.50, and if you live an hour, it can't be more before.
It has to be at least 4. That's right. Yeah. But absolutely, last minute is definitely welcome. So please feel free. And yeah, so you've got something that you've scheduled coming up.
I do. I so we've been laughing about this all day. So I have really, this has kind of been one of those things that I've been talking about doing for a while. So I like to use the feet with the sewing machines. I really love to play around with those. So I decided that let's do a foot fetish class. And by foot fetish, I mean sewing machine feet.
Yes, absolutely. Sewing machine feet. So for all of you who thought something else, shame on you.
I know it wouldn't be, we would totally say something inappropriate. It would be perfect if you had, but
I got nothing. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you guys have probably heard me say before with Scan and Cut in different classes, software being one of those, that I have a font fetish. And I have certainly said that many times. I love to add different fonts in and be able to do that with all of the softwares that enables you to really get the perfect font.
Mhm.
So I have what I would definitely consider a font fetish. So I haven't quite moved into the feet fetish category yet. I'm working on it.
But you have used way more feet than you did 2 years
originally.
ago.
Yes, I used the J foot before.
Yes, and now you have more feet.
I do
mean,
have
you
a few
always
more.
had more feet, but
I've got two. I've had those for years. But no, I actually have started picking them up. I definitely love the double cording. I don't use double cording. Let me rephrase that. I don't use it in the normal way. I use it for putting zippers in, and it makes me look really good. So I like that. Anything that makes my sewing easier and makes it look better, I'm all for, which is really what feet do. They make whatever your project is, there's a specific technique. There's probably a foot for that. So it's kind of like there's an app for that. It's the same kind of thing. So there's probably a foot. So which one did you grab?
So I grabbed the hammer foot. Only because someone was in asking about the hammer foot today. So,
so she was standing in front of the footwell, kind of going, which one?
Right? There's so many choices.
So there really are, and they really are a lot of fun. And it's really not hard to use them. They come with instructions, and then there's this instruction that is always really nice. So tell me about your foot fetish class.
So it's going to be a class, but it isn't going to be a pay for class. So I'm going to do once a month, twice a month, but one session, one
type of class repeated twice.
Yes. And I'm going to pick a foot, and you all can register for the class. It'll be a Zoom class. You could certainly be hands-on if you wanted, but this is going to be more kind of lecture demo. So I'm not charging for the class. And
there won't be a kit.
There will not be a kit.
It'll just be scrap fabrics being used, that kind of thing.
But I will be showing a foot or a couple feet if they have relevance to each other each month. And for everybody who actually joins the Zoom class, so if you actually show up in the Zoom class, I will give you a special code that you can come in and get a better deal than we would normally give you on feet.
On that foot.
That foot, yes.
For that month.
For that month, or those feet.
That following week or whatever.
Right.
But whatever she's talking about in class will be on special. But you do have to actually attend the class to get the special.
Yes.
So if after seeing what Sarah does and how easy whatever it is to use and how beautiful everything turns out, you go, I need that in my life. That'll give you a little better price point to be able to pick that up. So
so it'll be different each month. The discount will vary too. Some of it will vary based on all of the stuff that goes into.
There'll be little differences on that. So I'm sure you guys understand. We run a business here, so everything has different margins and whatnot. So as things have varying, we'll do the best we can for you, and that might not be the exact same thing on every foot, but there will certainly be.
But if you haven't
bonus.
started collecting feet for your brother or your baby lock machine yet, you should know that they're really inexpensive. So
especially compared to other brands.
Yeah, most feet before your discount are well under the $20 price point. So you aren't going to be spending a ton of money on feet, regardless of whether or not you're getting a special deal. Just as an FYI, if you are thinking about buying feet and it's for a particular project, these really don't break the bank. So
no, it's actually very feasible to be able to pick up a specialty foot to do a project. You don't have to say, well, I'm going to have to use that 20 times before it's going to be worth fill in the blank, because it really is very reasonable to purchase. And they all are very reasonable to purchase. Sewing machine feet tend to be a little bit less than serger feet. There's a lot less metal involved. So the actual weight of the foot and what's being put into it. And that's where really you see that difference come into play. So.
Yeah, I haven't ventured into sergers yet. I mean, I have all of the serger feet, so I certainly could play with it, but I just haven't had enough time to monkey around with those yet. So
there's some really, really cool stuff that
Right.
is available on the sergers. You know, it's funny, depending upon what serger you have is of course going to be dependent upon what type of stitches that you have available. Some of ours are a cover hem and a serger all in one. So there's a lot more feet that are available because there's more things that you can do. Fabric guide is probably my absolute favorite thing.
that's a great.
It is literally, I don't think anybody that has one of those combo pieces or cover hem by itself should try to use it without the fabric guide. It is such, and it's so easy to use, you know, to adjust it. It's just a flip of a lever, slide it to where it needs to be, and flip
Yeah.
it down and it locks in
It's
place.
not so different from the seam guide on the sewing machine.
It's the same
There's
concept. It's got a
really
sliding mechanism that
tool.
it's just really, really great. And, you know, when you're using a cover hem, you can't actually see
Mhm.
what you have on the other side. You're sewing with the folded portion underneath, so you can't see that edge. So it's really important that you have everything lined up properly before you start sewing. And so having a guide so everything stays right where it's supposed to is definitely a huge help.
So right now we have that class scheduled Saturday, October 24th at 3 o'clock. And then Wednesday, the 28th, 9:30 a.m. class. So an a.m. class during the week, and then a
after.
3 o'clock
Yep.
class. It'll probably
About
be
an hour, probably.
yeah, I would
somewhere in
say
there.
somewhere between 30 and 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the actual foot,
Yep.
and maybe
And questions
how many
possibly and what
questions.
comes into play.
Absolutely. So it'll be you know, pretty relaxed. I have a little bit of figuring out left to do. We'll kind of need a 2-camera thing, so I'll probably
I'll hang out. It's
yeah.
all good.
We'll need somebody. I'll need my camera crew.
You know, it's funny. You guys have all been, you know, super excited about us getting back to classes, which is great. And we're of course really excited too, but there's so much going into it. It's like, okay, how am I going to make this work? And you know, the scan and cut class that I have coming up, which I'm hoping to do in mid-October. I haven't picked the dates yet. I'm going on vacation next week, so I don't want to have anything too tight in there because I'm not sure how much prep time that I'll have availability in there. So we'll see how much happens this week and
Yes.
how prepared I could be by then before I go on vacation.
Yep.
But it's going to use an embroidery machine and the scan and cut machine itself. So I don't know exactly how that's
We
gonna
need
work.
a camera crew.
I totally need a camera crew. So
if anybody wants to volunteer,
volunteer. Did you hear that part?
right?
That was a volunteer basic.
Because
aspect.
essentially we're volunteering to be tech, right? Because we have absolutely
have
no
no
idea
clue what
what
we're
we're doing.
No.
So we've got added a third full-time job to our.
Yes, because we didn't have enough hats already. We're
Nope.
going to throw in some stuff we have no clue what we're doing on.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's never dull around here.
It isn't.
Something new
but
every
we're
day.
still smiling and laughing about it most of the time.
Most of the time.
So yeah.
Still
so,
have hair in my head. I haven't pulled it all out yet.
Yeah, right. We have some
Not much,
virtual
but
stuff
some.
coming up.
Mhm.
And then let's show what we have for Kimberbell real quick.
So there is a new Kimberbell CD. It just got delivered this week, and there are some goodies that go along with that. So here is the new CD, and it is, I'm turning it the wrong direction, called Noelle's Quilted Stockings. There are 4 different sizes of each of those
Down a little.
stockings. Down a little.
There you go.
There we go. There's 4 different sizes in there. And then there are multiple 4 designs of each of those as well. So if you can see those, I can't see what the heck I'm doing.
That's good.
There we go.
Oh, perfect.
A little bit of glue. Glue?
Glue.
Glare.
Glare.
Glare. That's the word I meant. Yeah.
Mhm. We have great lighting.
I
here.
can talk if I try really, really hard. So that is the 4 designs, and each of those are available in 4 sizes. So that one is a $34.95. It is very cute. And of course, there is beautifully written instructions. So this is the 6x10 size. So it's kind of in the middle.
So I
if
just
you
want
will.
to use this for reference. So it is a 6x10 size.
But it doesn't finish 6x10. It's just that
No.
that's the hoop that you
It's
would use.
It's going to be great for utensils.
It will. There is a 5x7. So those are the 4 sizes. Let's see. It says somewhere. It's got to say.
Front of the thing?
God forbid. Nope.
No.
That'd be too easy. I think it says it in here. Let's just. Of course, I'm not wearing glasses, so we'll see how well I do. 5x7, 6x10, 8x12, and 9x14. So literally from, you know, yay to big
Yay.
mambo, yay.
Which
And that
is
is
gonna
fully
be
lined.
Bigger than this.
Bigger than that. That's right. So they are fully lined. You can hang, add a ribbon or, and they're recommending ribbons or even like the crocheted ribbon, which is really, really pretty,
Mhm.
that they have as well. So
we might have added a ribbon appropriate for the 9x14.
maybe. I could say something really crude at this point, but I'm just going to let that go. You guys can imagine what popped into my head.
Oh.
Bias tape for spaghetti straps.
I think that was
a previous. That was a previous conversation.
Yes, when we were talking about us.
There's some really, really cool feet. You are not wrong. And that is actually one of my favorite ones that has that ability in there too. So Kimberbell has come out with that. That is a $34.95 CD. So in there.
Basket is so cute.
I know. So this is the new Kimberbell felt. So lots of pretty colors. I'm going to try not to dump them all out of the basket. So we have those all together here. We do have each different color that they have come out with. There is, beige and cream and green and mint. Well, no, it's pistachio green.
Pistachio.
They'll say that on the label. There's a mint color, red, pink, and gingerbread. Gingerbread brown. So really, really cute. Some of these patterns are a
Pale peach.
Pale Sarah. But since you have that, it's pretty soft, isn't it?
It is
This
very
is
soft.
really nice felt.
Right.
So you guys have all seen, we use random felt things around here for samples and things. It's not that kind of felt. This is really nice felt.
This does. You guys are going to want to fondle this.
Head fabric fondler right there. Those felt pieces are only $2.95 and you are getting a 12 by 18 piece. So these little guys, they're like, a 2x2 square. So it's going to go a little ways. Obviously, this is not the largest one. You can actually stitch just no design. So literally just have a quilted stocking. So there's really nice options that are in there, which is very, very nice. So if you're going to
give these for gifts, you might just want to do the quilted part.
Quilted, and you could, of course, throw a name in there before you add the backing and the lining and whatnot. So,
because I don't think people sometimes appreciate how much work goes into trimming around those leaves.
Scanning and cuts.
Yes.
Fabric mat. That works so well. So thank you, Roseanne, for letting me play with your mat because I haven't had the opportunity to. Roseanne was here today and had some questions about using your scan and cut for cutting fabric. And so she happened to be one of those lovely, lucky 13 people that had out of our first delivery. We didn't steal one of those from you guys. We let you guys get that first. So I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. So she came in and she's like, I want to do this. I'm like, yay, I get to play.
And so it was nothing on the fabric. Right?
Absolutely nothing. Fabric? She said that the piece that she had brought, she had put a little bit of best press on, which I would still recommend. I think you're going to get a cleaner cut if you have just a little bit of body to the fabric rather than just all loosey-goosey.
So it should be a little stiff.
A little stiff. Just a little bit. Not a lot stiff.
Not a lot stiff.
No, it depends on what we're talking about, what you need here for this project. Just a little bit. So it literally stuck to the mat. There was no shifting and it just blew through. We were just doing rectangle pieces. So it wasn't like crazy shapes or anything, but there was no shifting at all.
And how does it come off the mat?
I was able to pick up the corner and peel the excess off. It came just away perfectly, no problem. I do recommend, based on today, you put a spatula under the corner so that you're not getting those frayed edges because if you keep picking at it, I definitely think that could become a problem. So I think the spatula is probably the way to go. But once you got an edge, it just came right off.
Cool.
Definitely recommend cleaning that mat regularly. You don't want to have a buildup of fabric particles on your mat because it's going to make it less sticky. So you want to make sure that we clean that. We've been using Totally Awesome. In all fairness, I haven't tried it on the fabric mat. I don't know why it would be any different than the others. The others, it works really, really well. I use my scraper, not because I scrape, but because I just move the cleaner around on the mat. You can use your fingertips and just move it. But the idea is that you want to pick up all that excess and then just take a paper towel and wipe it away and you have this beautifully clean mat. It's just as sticky as it was when you started. So thanks, Mom.
Both our moms are watching.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Moms. Oh, there's something underneath there. I can't see. Hi. Oh, that's somebody else saying hi to not us.
Yeah.
But hi anyways.
That was Lisa saying hi, Alice.
So.
And Janie and Karen and
There's
Delana, Michelle.
There's a bunch of you today.
Penny.
So thank you so much for joining. So I've got one other thing. Do you have anything else?
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Well, we always forget something, and we say we'll just do that next week, and then we
Right.
forget that too.
No,
No?
I don't think so.
So this past weekend at Embroidery Club, they asked, of course, when's the next one? So I plan to do an embroidery club. I don't have the project prepared or chosen yet because I haven't actually finished this month's yet, but I will do it in November. So it'll probably be in the middle of the month because of Thanksgiving. So we'll probably have that towards the middle of the month. The Saturday and the following Wednesday seems to have worked pretty well this time around. We'll see how it works for you, and then we can always make some adjustments. I can certainly do a 9:30 in the morning instead of 5 o'clock at night. So I'm curious, or I could even do both and have more options if needed.
Yeah.
So
I mean, by allowing that does help one of us to do our camera work, so we can have an extra hand.
no doubt.
Yeah,
So
that would be.
we could certainly play with that too. So I do hope in the middle of October, so the next weekend or the previous weekend to whatever I end up doing Scan and Cut Club, to do the embroidered wallet in the hoop. So for all of you beautiful ladies who signed up for this prior to, this is a class that I had all set ready to go. So you would have two options. You have the black and white or the pastel colorful option. I did, of course, make some alterations, a little bit of alterations, just a little bit. So this is a wow. If I try, I can really, it's just a hard day, evidently.
These are hard words.
I'm struggling. I'm so sorry, guys. So this is a magnetic snap. The pattern calls for the cam snaps, which we certainly have, and there's no requirement, if you will, but your kit will come with a magnetic snap in there, and they're actually very, very easy.
I wish they could
to
see
attach.
how pretty this rose gold one
That
is.
one is absolutely gorgeous. It's
Right,
just got a little pink hue to it. It's just super pretty.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun picking the fabrics for these, and I have hoarded the fabrics all of these months.
Right. They made it through.
They
the
made it through
pandemic
a flood.
and the flood.
So they're all in there. And so we've got this really pretty print. So this is the black and white. You got lots of shades of gray, and then there's also the color version of those. So this is a class. I have many of you already signed up, and of course you would be the first options to get in there. Again, I don't see any reason to maximize a limit on that because it's all virtual. So if there's a whole bunch of you, you're all welcome. Let's party together, right? So this one was a $49.95. That included the kit, which will all be pre-cut for you so that it'll all be ready to go so we can just sit down and actually go. So it will be everything. The only thing that I'm not going to include is a spool of thread for the actual stitching in the bottom thread. So everything else that you need. And this little guy down here was my alteration. So the original pattern had a checkbook pocket. Now, I do know some of you still carry a checkbook because you bring it in here occasionally. So I know that, but I don't usually see them in the wallets anymore. That was a thing. I had a wallet that had my checkbook in it for a long time, but that's not really a thing anymore.
You never know when you might have to quote by check.
That's absolutely right. But this little pocket right there will hold all your dough. So quilt by check or cash. Tomato money is always going to work right in there. And then I added a few more card pockets that weren't there originally. So again, that will all be prepped for you. I will give you the instructions on how I did that as soon as I remember what I did 6 months ago. That was a little while ago. It was a long time ago, actually.
It feels like a year ago. It just, wow.
So that will be coming up hopefully mid-October, if not beginning of November, if I can't quite make that work. So that is going to be there. And then I will have an embroidery club. So just basically kind of like what we did today or this weekend and then tomorrow. But I don't know what project yet. I did buy the new Kimberbell Volume 4, so.
Might be something from there. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out, and it'll be fun.
I have a lot of people ask me about elastic. This is the 1/8" elastic, which finally came in. So I don't know if anybody that's actually watching this is looking for the tiny elastic. But we did get some in, and I think I have more coming. I saw another shipment today.
Like the white?
Another black one. Black? I don't know if it's 1/4" or 1/8", but we do have.
We definitely have elastic here for you if you guys are still needing it. But
it is nice and it's tiny.
So you can see the difference. Here's the 1/4. Very, very big. Well, half the distance, but it really actually looks like more. It's kind of funny. But this is actually that cute fabric that I made the wallet out of.
It
I had to
is.
make some
This was from that
colorful
panel.
masks. That was the panel masks. Yep.
The panel. It's got the little. It's got a.
It's
phone
got a
on it.
telephone. Hello?
Hello. Anybody? Can anybody hear me?
No.
It's not as fun to slam down the phone now when you get frustrated.
No, you might break
can't
it.
Right? That's really expensive.
It's not a good
It's a
thing
really
to
expensive
do.
phone, and you can't really just put in your
Hang up on
finger
it. It
on
doesn't
the
have
end
that
of the call.
aggression
Doesn't
feeling.
have the same
No.
thought as the person on the other. Not that I ever did that when I was a kid.
I can still remember being excited over getting an extra long cord for the phone that was in the kitchen so I could drag it across the house and close my bedroom door and talk in private. That was such a big deal.
I talked on the phone so much when I was a kid that my parents got me my own phone line to have in the bedroom.
Wow.
Because
all I can say is,
it
wow.
was always busy when they would try to call the house. So I was like, when I was 14, I had my own phone number.
Okay.
The irony is I really don't enjoy talking on the phone anymore. I must have worn it out.
Worn it all out.
Now
Yeah.
I'm just too distracted.
I just think it's so funny. You know, there's actually a picture of my sister on the phone
Yeah.
in the door frame. So, you know, just an arch door frame out of our kitchen. And she had crawled up it with her feet. So her back is on one side and she's like midair sitting. It's just funny when you think about all the things that we used to do and how many things have changed. I mean, I can clearly remember my first cell phone. I thought I was all that. I had the extra fat battery. So, I mean, it was like literally this thick and you had to pull up the antenna.
I know, right?
Yeah, I thought it was all that. I was a sophomore in college.
Yeah, it's funny how things have changed. I like to see the like the college kids when they see something that maybe they don't know about, like the pound key.
Mm-hmm.
So I said something about the pound key, and she had zero idea what I was.
What that actually meant.
I'm like hashtag.
Oh. Yeah.
It was so funny.
And then there's the things we have no idea what they're talking about, which kind of goes both ways on that one. It's kind of entertaining to have a conversation with your kids.
Right. It's funny because like I remember one time I was working at a sewing shop early on, and someone came in and they were talking about cams with me, and we had like a 45-minute conversation about cams.
You just nod your head.
And when she left, I Googled it because I had zero idea what we had just been talking about. And I was like, oh, that's what made her decorate stitch. The whole conversation made a lot more sense.
That all makes sense now. You know, it's just interesting how things change. And, you know, texting has certainly, you know, you watch the.
Right.
And then there's the people that. Yes, the drag. I hate the drag. I've never gotten that to work like I wanted to. I always get misspelling. And then there's the autocorrect, which is also so very interesting. What was it that we were sending the other day? And your phone sent Solar space is.
It wouldn't let me write
It wouldn't
Solaris.
combine the two. It's just funny.
Yes.
And you know,
And
you send it without realizing it, and you're like, yeah, that's not what I meant.
As soon as you're sending it, it autocorrects it because you typed it too quick, and then you're like,
no.
Yes.
Sorry, that's not what I meant to
My
say.
husband sent that one funny text.
That's a good one.
Yes,
that is absolutely.
You should really pay it. It was just.
Ask her about that sometime. That's a good story.
Yeah, it is a good story.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know that just typing the letter K was being rude instead of okay. My children informed me of that. I was like, because I would just be like, K.
Right.
You know, they'd send me some information, and I was just trying to reply, letting them know that I read it. Because, you know, I thought, you know, we might have a boss that doesn't reply.
Completely ignores.
So Jean, if you're watching, it's okay to just hit the letter K.
We're
just
okay
send us
with that.
something that we know you read it.
Yeah.
But evidently, to a teenager, that's not an okay thing.
Funny that a teenager would think that that's rude.
And I'm like, so what am I supposed? What am I supposed to type? And they're like, okay. I'm like, forget it. I'm just gonna send you a thumbs up signal. They
probably don't like that either.
I don't care. How does that? Okay. So anyway, we have rambled on, I think, enough. I apologize. We do tend to get off on our little rants.
We do.
But we still never came up with something really good to talk about with the foot fetish thing.
No.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on some better, fun
Inappropriateness for next time.
Yes. But we'll send out something
for sign-ups.
For a sign-up for there. There won't be a charge, but we'll have you register just so we kind of have an idea of who's coming and how many
those people who register will get the coupon code, if you will, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got a lot of things that we have started doing For all of you lovely bag ladies out there, which I know sounds really bad, but
Right?
it's not like it
Foot
sounds.
fetish, bag ladies.
Don't ask what's coming next because we don't know, and you probably would be scared if we did.
Messed up in here.
It's lots of stuff going on, but there is a special for that. So how are we going to get more people in the bag lady? We haven't really talked about that. So the
No.
obvious answer would be to hold another stabilizer event, which I
Mhm.
think would be a great idea. But they might, you guys getting a little like
Are you
overload
virtual
of
out?
virtual stuff because we've got another. The Floriani event is.
We should talk about that. That's
That's
Saturday.
a couple of
Hello,
days from
that's
now,
what I was-
maybe.
I'm like,
See,
there's
we knew
something.
if we yacked long enough, it would
We
come
would
back.
remember. Yes.
So our Floriani virtual event is this Saturday. And I was talking with Mom. She's like, man, I've got this and I've got this. I think that, there's a point where we just can't Zoom anymore. I'm over Zooming, right? So I've heard that actually. Who would have thought that would be a thing?
Right.
But we can get Zoomed out. So if, we would love to do that, but that is not something we can do virtually very easily, I don't think. I think that is probably when we get things in here. I don't know. We can figure it out. and
We
talk
might
about
be able to stand up there and
we might be able
participate.
to just do
We would have to have
camera crew.
a camera person helping
Yeah.
us ask us the questions and things like
But
that.
that was how people actually got the bag. So there is a really cool, and I didn't bring it over here because I didn't know I was going to talk about it. My brain works in mysterious ways, but so it's a really nice bag. Actually, it's a nice canvas piece. It's got the Leabu logo on it, and the ladies who earned that have a special sale every month that is only for them, and it's a good sale. So far it's been pretty darn nice, and those of you who have already partaken have seemed to really enjoy those. So we will hopefully have that coming up real soon. Some way that you can
Earn your
bag
lady
status.
status.
So, because it sounds so good to say I'm a bag lady, right?
Yeah.
I've said I'm a bag lady for years. I have so many purses, it's insane. But and then I keep making them because I didn't buy enough. I must also create
them. I'm taking a fishing home today.
some.
Bag making in my future.
Bag making is coming up. So yeah, if you are interested and you are not already one of those select few, we would be happy to try to figure something out because I think it's, that was literally 2 days before the shutdown. That was Wednesday, and we were shut down that Friday.
Well, the school started
School
shutting
down that day, and then I
Um,
think that following Monday was
pretty much it.
that was
yeah.
it. So it was literally right before the shutdown that we had our stabilizer
It was
event.
when Gene was in Florida last time.
So
Yeah, when he was leaving,
vacation much, Gene?
I remember saying to him, he's like, well, what if you can't? And I'm like, how much worse can it get, right? We've had a pandemic. We've been shut down. We had a flood.
We're
What
good.
else, right?
Yes.
Knock
So,
on wood.
yeah, God, please, no more. But
Right.
yeah, so lots of fun hopefully coming up. We are really trying to get things going again, and follow through on all the promises that we said. Oh, we're gonna do this, and then
We're working on it.
we are
Yes.
absolutely are.
I know
So
you
we
guys
have
are probably tired of hearing that, but
actually.
really
I
are-
mean, we're actually starting
Yes.
the
there are only so many hours in the day.
so the bag lady stuff started last month, and if you are one of those people, you will get an email that says, hey, this is what's happening and these are the dates that you have available to you to come on in.
Yep.
And just as a reminder, you have to have the bag with you.
And
That's how we can differentiate you from anyone else.
It's in store only, so
In
it's not
store,
a-
you have to come
can't
in
pre-shop.
see us because we miss you guys. You have to come
Absolutely.
see us. So that's how that one works. So that's there. We've got classes on the books. We are moving forward with all of that. And we do have that virtual event. So if you have not already signed up, it is completely free. This Saturday, it is at 10 a.m. And there will be a recorded option. So if you can't make 10 a.m., but you are still interested in watching the video feed itself, sign up anyways. And you can always go back. Is it 24 or 48 on this one? I can't remember. It's 24 or 48
I think
hours.
It's 48.
I think this one's 48.
OESD is the 24-hour
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
We
they're
just
quick.
keep doing them.
I know.
I can't
Those are
remember
so
from
much
one to
fun.
the other. So it's really awesome. You're going to get some information, learn a few more things. And then, of course, you get to shop with sale stuff.
Mhm.
So there is a portal right there. There is also a portal on our website now for both OESD and scissor tail stitches.
Scissor tail
See, I told you I can
stitches.
talk if I try
Yes.
super duper hard.
These are
So those
just
are
so
they are very sharp. I don't even know that the video is doing them justice. They are
No.
very, very cute. And a lot of that, I think, is the color choices.
I did not.
So your colors are really nice,
I didn't
which makes a
follow
difference.
I didn't follow the. It's not a
This
big
is my
surprise,
shocked
right?
face.
I used some of their colors, but I did not follow.
Altered a little bit
I did.
there.
These were gray. The bottom
No,
pumpkins
the
were
teal's
gray,
better.
and I didn't think you couldn't see that on the black
Yeah.
fabric, but their sample is black, so it was kind of strange.
Interesting.
Anyways, this is Pumpkin Kisses Scissor Tail 90012, and
That's
the bike
number.
was from 80279. So just in case you go looking for those designs,
Yep. So those were scissor tail stitches, which there is a link on our website. So if you go to our website, there is. He is getting impatient.
I know, right?
Hubby's outside waiting for her. So we are trying to get you guys the ease of shopping at home, but still shopping with us because we really appreciate your loyalty. And so we're trying to make that as easy for you as possible. So both the OESD, the Scissor Tail, which are the sister companies, those are on the OESD page. And then Floriani is now available for shopping. And that won't just be this weekend. Those portals will stay open continuously for those companies. So you can always go to the site, which if you don't already know, shame on you, but it is www.leabusewingcenter.com. And there is a very easy menu along the left side of the page that says, you know, this, that, and the other thing. You can follow it. Our class calendar is there. So hopefully you'll start seeing lots more things popping up on that. And
we do appreciate when you shop through those web pages. It
do.
might not seem like it, but we do get a percentage of the sales that are purchased through them. So while you are purchasing directly from them and they are handling the shipping, it's coming to you from their warehouse. It is like
it's like shopping
here.
It
is like shopping from here, but it just comes
and
to
we
your
definitely
house.
appreciate you guys taking care of us so that we can still be here to take care of you.
Yep.
So all right.
I think
I'm cooked. I'm
Okay.
certainly feeling cooked. I'm getting warm all of a sudden.
All right.
So
thanks, guys. Until next
till
week.
next week, we will see you then.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right. Take care. Okay, you get to run around.
I know, right?
Okay, so Jeopardy music and do. And there we go. You guys have a good one. Thanks.